Hello friends, I am DragoNate and welcome to this week's DragoNate Reading Your Answers, where I read your answers to the previous week's question. Last week your question came from FunnyFluffy, who asks us, if and when you get scared, how do you calm yourself down and put the matter to the side? You guys answered, and I will be reading your answers in this video, but first we need to get your question for this week. A friend suggested this question to me a while ago, and I've never asked it because I always feel like it's a little bit weird, but maybe it's totally fine. So your question for this week is, who is your favorite YouTuber? And if it's not me, I'll be pissed. I'm kidding. Seriously, who's your favorite YouTuber? What YouTuber do you watch most, and why? Is there something specific about them that makes you want to watch them all the time? Leave your answers in the comments below, and I will read them next week. Just as a reminder as well, the question will be in the comments. I will leave it there so that you guys don't have to go and look back at the video to see it, just in case you forget or something. Now let's see the best way you guys calm down when you're anxious or scared about something. Omar was answering the previous question here, saying he got taller, PS4, and now got worse at school. That's how his life is different from 1 year ago. T. Lisa Chapman says, oh, that's a hard one. If I'm out like shopping, I put my earplugs in. Noise tends to really aggravate me when things are getting too much. I count steps and plan in detail, like, okay, take a shortcut through here, and so on. Focus on things around me. If I'm at home, it's a bit easier. I clean, everything I come across, and listen to the cha-cha song in my head. It gets me to slow down into a kind of meditative state. Or I craft beads, clay, crochet, draw, paint. Sometimes I write as well. Anything I can think of to break the worry loop before I can't. Most times it helps, and if nothing helps, I get under my weighted blanket and sometimes have the fan on. I either turn off or I get aggravated at laying down and get up and do whatever I can. But I always tend to my pets first, even when my hands are shaking. I don't know how to explain turning off though. It's not exactly sleep, but eventually I wind up asleep. Oh, that's a good explanation for it. I tend to type and think so fast I forget to cap it. I'm getting there. Love these, by the way. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I love these as well, and thank you for your answer. By the way, I totally understand what you mean there by kind of turning off. I kind of do that myself sometimes as well, and it surprisingly really helps. The way I would explain it is basically just like kind of getting into a comfortable position. I push my chest forward so that my chest is nice and up, and then I just take one deep breath in, let it all out, and I just close my eyes and I sit there and I relax. And I try not to move or blink, open my eyes or anything like that. Croco doesn't calm down, he just needs time. Time can be an excellent tool. Mum closes her eyes, takes some deep breath, and asks God to take it away if it needs to go, and he usually does if it needs to. Mitsu says, depending on where I am and what the matter and situation are, I do different things. Usually one of two: go sit in a dark room until I'm calm, or go walk somewhere. Forests are best because I don't have that smell of people in them, and all is green. Green calms people down the best. She's actually read some article about how being in a green area, especially forests, affects a person's state of relaxation. It apparently doesn't take more than about 20 minutes to get your heartbeat to slow and become more stable. Not sure if it's the case with all people, but I find it interesting. And that definitely is. That's a really great way to, like, a simple way as well, to be able to relax. If it's that simple, just like get some green stuff, look at something green, go to a tree or something like that, then hey, it works. And to be honest, I will say that forest nature to me is very calming. Wise Wizard says, I've always acted on instinct, so that's a question that I can't really answer, but I guess the best I can offer is that I embrace the sudden rush of energy and thrill of the moment at hand and let it run through my veins, fill me with that drive, and then unleash it according to the moment, which is great. It's a great thing to be able to do, and definitely would take a lot of practice to do. That's something I want to be able to do. I want to be able to control it like that, because usually when I'm scared about something, sometimes it depends on what it is. It depends on what I'm scared about. The anxious feeling just kind of it like I feel it in my cheeks. My cheeks feel really itchy, and my gums and everything, and my stomach starts getting really bothered. That's what I feel when I feel anxious, and I hate it. I hate it so much. And then it usually doesn't go away, and I don't know how to get it to go away other than to just try and ignore it, I guess. Oftentimes I get that nervous feeling right before I'm going to teach a class, especially when it's a new group of kids that I haven't taught before. So I start getting like really nervous for some reason, even though I've done this so many times now. But usually as soon as I get there, I like to get there early so that I can do my own warm-up, and then I have tons of time to set up. And usually as soon as I get my warm-up done, I feel so much better. My warm-up just kind of gets me into the mood for what I'm going to be doing and that kind of thing. If I'm scared about something, depends on the kind of fear, but usually if it's like scared, like, oh, I don't want to do this, I'm terrified to do it, then I just won't do it. Or I will close my eyes, try and calm down, and see if it kind of goes away. If it doesn't, then I walk away. If it goes away, then I try it, or at least like work my way up to it. Benny says, I'm such a person who says, there's nothing that could hurt you, Benny. It helps me, and that's why I do it. And thanks for the capitalized statement. You're welcome. And it's always great to have that kind of positive mental attitude. And that actually wraps it up for this week. This is quite a short video. That's all right, though. Thank you all so much for sharing your answers to this. And I hope that some of these techniques in here that people use, I hope that it helps some of you out there. If something that you usually try doesn't work that well, I hope that maybe something that someone else here said can help you, and maybe at least give you some ideas to try some new things as well. By far, I think the easiest one is just putting up the color green. So if you start feeling anxious, all you gotta do is just have a picture of lush green forests and bush and grass and everything, and just stare at it. Stare at it real close too. And don't forget, your question for this week is, who is your favorite YouTuber? Leave your answers in the comments below. I'll read them next week. Please don't just say me just because you think you'll make me feel bad if you don't say me. I really don't care. I'm just curious. Other people might be curious, and I can't be your favorite, your most favorite ever. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, if I am, that's great, but don't just say it just because. But I look forward to hearing who your favorite YouTuber is, and until then, I will see you all next week, so have a wonderful one. The question will also be in the comments below, just so that if you forget or you have to come back to it, you maybe don't have to watch the entire video again, or something along those lines. So, I will see you again very soon. God bless.